patient-centric revolution, and the idea for me is that when I think about patients, it's all about through a concept of wellness, the medical, the behavioral, the social, and the financial wellness of the individual. So if we're going to be patient-centric in our approach and the way we design care and deliver care, we want to focus on making sure we're helping that individual for all aspects of their life. So I'd love to get your take on what you think about that.
You know, it's something I've thought a lot about is how does that patient manage their situation? And had the opportunity to work with the individual that was really responsible for Home Depot's enormous effort in do-it-yourself tools and what they've been able to do. And the idea there was to educate, empower, and enable people to do what they didn't think they could do through a series of videos and tools. And I look at it and say, okay, what's the ability to do that for patients with chronic disease? Because many of them understand the nuances of their condition and the idiosyncrasies and what they really did better than the physician or nurse that's involved in it. So if you think about that, educate, equip, and empower. And it can be the patient themselves or the unpaid caregiver, the family or the spouse that facilitates in it. And I keep thinking that's the avenue by which I think AI and AI tools can have a profound effect on the individual, is to empower them to do a better job taking care of their disease condition with terminology and information that's comfortable for them. Now, it doesn't mean you're mitigating the physician. What you're doing is you're also using those tools to define when a physician should be involved or when the variances are acceptable. So I've watched that transition. If you ever get on their website, it's fascinating and say, okay, how do we bring that process of enabling people to care for themselves in the best possible manner?
That's interesting. Sort of the whole self-efficacy thing, but with fixing up your house, fixing up your home, you know, is very similar to fixing yourself up. You know, people need to actually believe they can do it. You know, I think people get a little off topic, and I understand why, when we talk about AI, and a lot of people are afraid that it's really going to replace the clinician.
Right.
I personally don't think it will, and hope and it can't. It can empower the clinician. It can free the clinician to do really what you've done for years and years, and you're so focused as a primary care doctor on that patient physician bond that's so powerful, and that's what gets to this enabling patients. I don't think an AI tool is really going to be super powerful in enabling patients. I see AI, in the information it can provide, but the physician helping empower the patient to take control of something. I had a brilliant mentor for many years, Dr. Carl Hammerschlag. He passed away a few years ago. He was a psychiatrist, and he used to talk about the difference between a patient having a condition and the condition having a patient. So a lot of times you'll hear a patient say, this has really got me, that whatever chronic disease, my congestive heart failure, it's got me. Right. I can't seem to get away from it. As opposed to, you flip that on its head, which I've got it. The patient has it, that I can manage it, I can control it, I'm going to make the best out of it no matter what it is. It's a mindset thing. And I think that's a big mindset that, AI can provide advantages, data, feedback, monitoring, all these things that we're going to talk about. And it has to get back. Patients still have to be the stewards of their care. Right. AI is not going to, you can't sit there, just cure me, make me better. It doesn't work like that. And if we think it does, we're going to go way off track, getting way too reliant on technology and data. In my opinion, that's the exact wrong way to go. And I don't think we're going to do that, and I think a lot of people see that we shouldn't do that. But can it help us get back to, as you say, self-efficacy, where someone says they know how to use these tools, whether they're Home Depot tools or other tools that they've gotten to help themselves.
Yeah, that's what's so powerful, the concept of the quality touch, right? So you want to embrace the patient and give them advice, and then you get to see them 3 months later.
I know you talk about quality touches a lot. I like that.
And just like, well, if we're using technology or AI bots or whatever to kind of keep those quality touches going across and in between the sessions, then you can embrace change, because then you feel like you can own the process, because you're reminded in a proactive way of helping facilitate improvement, as opposed to your point, which is excellent. CHF has me. CHF has me.
Yeah,
and then I'm doomed. Right, then I'm never changing, because that's a fixed mindset. We got to use these quality touches to kind of create that growth mindset to kind of really push up.
Yeah, I like you talk about that a lot. I've noticed the quality touches, and not just touches, not just interactions, but quality interactions. How do you maximize, even if it's a brief period of time? How do you maximize that time? And can AI help us? I think it can offload all kinds of different, administrative things and time-consuming things, and really maximize the quality of those touches.
Right.
So
That's a big issue.
that's one of the great hopes, and I really believe we can get there.